Hello everyone, Ivan Brothers again, and welcome back. Now, most of you guys, you remember that earlier, right? Yes, indeed. We're going to be talking about Windows 10 and Windows 11. So this is what we call it Windows 11 and Windows 10. So if you haven't known before, as you can see, it's much different because you can see on Windows 11 on the right, we're going to be doing one in each. So I'm going to show you a few you can see on the right side. So let me show you real quick on the right so we can show you a few things to cover with. So as you can see on the background right here, as you can tell on the effect on the button right there, as you can see, look at that right there. As you can see, I have Windows 10 I'm running. As you can see, it's currently running Windows 10, which is, you can see, I'm Plus, established since 2021, manufactured by Windows 10. Now on the files list, as you can see, I go to Pictures tab, then click on Camera Roll. As you can see, I put some backgrounds here. We have the Chrome OS backgrounds, which it also has like 136, 768, which that has some features on it, which is pretty nice to me. And on these threes are all the VirtualBox stuff, which features Windows 7. Oh wait, okay, so we did Windows 11. We showed you it earlier, but with Windows 11. So I'm gonna show you. You can tell we're gonna be live, but we're only going to be doing it so we can show you a few bonuses before we get started. So as you can see, we have manufactured by Windows 11, which is nice. As you can see, it says VirtualBox. As you can tell, these are main titles. We have Windows 8, 8.1, 11, and Vista and XP. For some reason, it says Recycle Bin and not rather than these things because it was manufactured by Windows XP as it was established since 2021. And if you look at the roster, they don't have any SIG-1 titles. But they do accept them. But they kept the originality. But they kept its things. But you can tell, look at that. As you can see, it tells you everything, but however, it adds the like a shading thing, because you can tell it adds a shade in the recycling bin. When this is wallpaper, looks like much different. I'll show you a few of them so we can cover with. I want to talk about something. For now, we're going to be showing you real quick. We're going to be doing a video tutorial, and then we're going to do a speed test. So I'm going to show you, I have a few things to cover. So we're going to include the one at the beginning. So let's start with the one at the beginning. So we're going to show you real quick of, we're going live for a while. We're going to include one of each as a pleasure. So for today, we're going to be installing Windows 7 first. We did this in the last time, but however, it's time for an updated one. It's time for an update. So, as you can tell, it's much in the last time. Because there are new wallpapers from my desktop. So as you can see, we have this Windows 7 Service Pack 1 Home Premium English 32-bit and the 64-bit. Let's click on that one. We're going to include this as a bonus because we're going to include this one. This tutorial will be a bonus. Stay tuned for this, and we're going to be doing a full how you can install Windows 7 Home Premium. We're going to do a few bonuses so we can get into it before we start So we're going to do a full tutorial. As you can tell, we have a bonus. We have tutorials at the beginning, and we're taking some screenshots. So, for Windows XP, then Vista, we already did 8, we already did 8.1, we did 11, and we already did Chrome OS. But we haven't done Windows 7 and Windows 10. So we will show you of what it tells you about. So I'm going to do a full, we're going to do a help through. You can, of installing it on Windows. We're going back to the past. So we can go ahead and prepare what its resolution. Anyways, so anyway, let's take a look at what I'm going to talk about here. So anyways, as he's third, yes indeed. I thought would be saying so. So hang in there, we'll pause it right here, be right back. Anyways, let's get into it. So we're going to use VirtualBox for this tutorial in the beginning of each videos. I'm going to click on New. I'm going to name that Windows 7 for this axis. Press the buttons on the side and click on that. Then we're going to locate the Windows 7 Home Premium. Make sure we're in the results. Click on Skip Unattended Installation, then go to Hardware. Now Windows 7 requires about a few, but I recommend you just like 3 gigabytes or just that, or just and you can allocate it more. On your hard disk, you can select the 32 gigabyte, or it can read with 64 gigabytes for this example. So I can say I can put 64 gigabytes, or you can leave it 32-bit, like the original 32-bit, or you can leave it as we're gonna put that as a 64, or you put that as a 70 or 64. For me, I'm gonna pick 64, so I might say 64 gigabytes, which is so much. So yeah. Now before doing anything, click on Settings. Now go on the bottom, make sure everything's all settled in. Make sure it's able to 128 gigabytes. There's a recording there, so we will deal with it later. Make sure it's set to NAT and the thing right here, your ports, and make sure it's in the resolution. Let's get started. Now it's going to open a new window, and it's going to load into the Windows 7 setup. At this time, you will see the screen here. Press the next button, then install now. Now press the read the license terms and conditions. Make sure you understand them. Choose custom. Make sure we're at the 64 gigabyte because we're 64-bit of operating systems. Okay, now we're done. Now it's going to install the operating system. So I'm going to change. I'll be right back. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and continue our tutorial. So as you can see, I am already here, and we're already finished up already. So as you can see, it says Windows 7 Home Premium. Choose username account, and then you can see it says account. Where's the user account? You can see everything, and we have this kind of a little bit here.
Make your computer easier to use. Windows will read and scan this list automatically. Cancel.
So anyway, I'm gonna name that myself, which of course that's my username. If you want to set a password if you like, I'm just going to enter that myself. Like that. And it's going to ask me for my product key. So in this case, I skip it. And as you can see, it says help protect your computer or VM, improve Windows automatically. I'm going to select use recommended settings to make internet safe browser. Check online for problems and help Microsoft improve Windows. We select our date and time. Make sure we're in like that. Now it's going to ask me for my current location. So my network's at home, so yeah. So in this case, if you're in show, I'm going to select the correct network on here for me because I already connected, my network is already connected to my thing right here. So I'm going to choose this one, home network. Now it's going to finalize my settings, and it's going to load up in my welcome screen, and we'll prepare our desktop. In a few seconds, it should wait for a minute. And there we have it. We finished our Windows 7 desktop. However, there are a few fixes here. So what we have to do is we need to install VirtualBox Guest Editions. This will allow some drivers to add to the VM, enable full screen mode, enhance performance, and provide additional functionality. To install Guest Editions, click on Devices, and we want to install this one, the VBox Guest Editions 7.9 15.8 222. Just click on that. Then click on the Start button in Windows 7, then hit My Computer. In My Computer, click on the VirtualBox Guest Editions CD, then choose this one right here. Hit Yes with prompted to. Hit Next button on your screen, hit it Next again, then Install. With VirtualBox Guest Editions is now installing drivers. Once during the installation, you will see this message on the screen. It's going to say, would you like to install this software? Choose Always Trust Software from Oracle Corporation and select Install. Keep in mind, if you install the latest version of 7.116, it will not work. Otherwise, you would see a fatal error and it will not work properly at the point at all. So yeah. So as you can see, it says putting Oracle VirtualBox Guest Edition 7.09. Choose Reboot now and hit Finish. Now during the restart, you'll hear the classic Windows 7 logout sound. And there we have it. We finished our Windows 7 installation. So I want to talk about a few differences here. As you can see, we are connected to the internet. As you can see, your guest editions running at the guest editions 2709. So we're not going to do that because it's kind of a two that do these things. Click on view at the top of the screen, then hit full screen mode, If prompted, click switch. And it should full screen your monitor and your virtual machine. To get out of full screen, click view on your screen, then select full screen mode. Now we can go ahead and provide our functionality because as you can see, it might glitch sometime, but sometimes it may not functionality and not function right. Now as you can see, it will probably just gonna say that, and that was just that. Anyways, let's talk about something I want to discuss about. As you can see, we only have some pictures here, so I'm going to drag one of the following files from my host machine to our desktop of our virtual machine. In that case, I'm going to drag the desktop from my pictures folder or the documents folder, or this one, then drag our Windows 7 here to our disk thing. Then click on the Start button and click Control Panel. Click on Change Desktop Background. Select Pictures Library, but we don't want that. We want to pick Pictures. You should see this screen, and prompted for stretch, or just say fail, or we would say that. And click Save Changes, and then we can exit out full screen. Now for the tweaks, it's different. So what we have to do is we need to log into Tweaks, make sure we are connected to our network by loading up Tweaks Logon Changer. Like so. Click that button, then scroll down, and then look for the download button, as you can see right here. Direct download from Tweaks, then move it over on your side and pull it up right here. Make sure we're in host to guest, not that. Now we can move our host machine and put our documents folder. Hit extract all when prompted to, then launch our setup. Now as you can see, it says preparing to install, but in that case, to me, that's what I thought. Anyways, before we get into it, I just want to talk about Tweaks. Tweaks is kind of like a login installer, but that worked probably just fine. I agreed that and hit install. Tweaks Logon Changer will now install to your VirtualBox machine. I have noticed that it might take a few minutes to do this, but that's just kind of a little bit. So this will take about a few minutes or two, and it will not be longer than the last time, except with a different color. Now, let's go ahead and talk about these things. While Tweaks is installing, we want to talk about these things. Oh, I had to press yes on this one. There we go. Now, if I go here, press yes, look what this will come up with. So as you can see, we have established since 2021, manufactured by Windows 7. And this is how it looks like. Quick change log on screen. As you can see, it's going to ask me for my JPG files. However, JPG files are much different than the last. So we need to get a nice PNG JPG files and then transferring it here. The best way you can find one is you can find a blue screen under JPG files. Click on your quick access, then type in JPG or just JPG files, or you can say max redefault or max res default. Yes. As you can see, take a look at this. You can see how the picture looks. You can see how much the picture looks in the max res default. Let me say I want to change it to a blue screen. Click on the doc in the pictures folder, then move the picture you want by clicking close to guest. Then simply drag your pictures here. I'm going to drag this for example. Then load up Tweaks Logon Changer again. Press yes when prompted. Now, it might take a few things to flicker out, so yeah. Click Change Logon Screen, then click on Pictures, then locate the picture you want to pick, but please do not pick the ones on screen. You want to look for this one. This is the one we're looking for. Click Open on your screen, and there it is. New Logon successfully installed. Hit OK when prompted to. Now let me show you how it looks like. Off. Now, as you can see, the picture looks different. So if I just log on back here, that's more like it. Now for the profile pictures. Before we take a picture, we have to move our profile or install one. We need to install a profile picture, which of course, my own. I'm gonna pick my thing right here, which is the picture here, or this one, which is mine, and I'm gonna transfer it to my VirtualBox VM. The easiest way to do this is click on Devices, Host to Guest, then make sure we're in the correct folder. Now, simply move it over and put that into your Documents folder. Now we should see it well. There it is. Hit Control Panel, User Accounts and Family Safety, and click Change Your Account Pictures. Locate the picture we're looking for, then Open. Watch again and listen to this. However, the background looks different than usual, but let me show you what happens if you log it back. See, it has this background here. So I'm going to change the background to, I'm going to change the theme, then select this button, then we're going to name this as Cityscape, which this course, I use that. Listen. There you go. Now, so as you can see, if I click log off, take a look. That's more like it. View, then hit full screen mode. Hit switch. We should full screen and see our resolution. There you go. So watch again. Listen. See, it's locked. I'm going to enter it up real quick. That's more like it. Kind of nice. The last thing I want to go over in this video, in this tutorial, is installing an up-to-date web browser. As you can see, it's already there. If I click on recommend settings. So as you can see, we have the Windows Media Player, which is nice to me. It says update information. But first, we have to eject from our VirtualBox machine. Click on that and hit eject. There you go. So let me show you real quick. This is the video right here. Wildlife in HD. However, it says Windows Media Player has stopped working. The last thing I want to go over in this video or this tutorial is I'm going to install an up-to-date web browser. Currently installed with Windows 7 is we have Internet Explorer 8, which is too outdated to load most web pages. So as you can see, these new features, my settings. As you can see, the support says this page cannot be displayed. So let me show you what I mean. Let me show you the the right. Here. See, here's the last thing we're going to go over before we do our speed test. Here's what's currently installed. Internet Explorer 8, which is too outdated to load most web pages. But if I go to a website like Google, it can load Google, of course. But anything else, it can load Google Maps as well. Which is fine to me. But if you go to YouTube, see that? It says, please update your browser. Your browser isn't supported anymore. Update to get the best YouTube experience and our latest features. Learn more. So as you can see, it only supports the following, like Mozilla Firefox, Opera, Microsoft Edge, and Google Chrome. It looks like learn more on the screen. As you can see, it says update your browser for best viewing experiences, new features, help sources. But if there's anything else, if I go into like a website, like and as you can see, it can load Google, but anything else will give you this page cannot be displayed error. So as you can see, it says Internet Explorer cannot display this web page because it's just saying it's unavailable. So we need to install a modern web browser. Here's what I recommend here. So instead of Internet Explorer, I recommend installing Supremium. Supremium is a modern internet browser based on Chromium, the same foundation that Google Chrome uses, and it supports Windows 7. Here is what I can tell you about it. Here's a full demonstration of installing it. I'm going to delete that from the host machine, which is our actual computer, and then transferring it to our host machine. So, anyways, I'm going to put that up just in case you need it. You need to download it on your host machine, which is your actual computer, and then transfer it to our VirtualBox VM. Go on the right side, click on Releases on the top of your screen, look for the latest version, and click on the, as you can see, it says for Revised 2025 with Sandbox, which is kind of nice. Look for the latest version, and click on the Supremium 64 setup.exe to download Supremium. Once it's fully downloaded, we need to transfer it to our VirtualBox VM. The easiest way to do this is we're going to use drag and drop, and simply drag it from our host machine to the desktop of our VM. The easiest way to do this is by clicking on our Pictures tab, drag and drop, then Host to Guest. Then simply drag our Supremium setup 64-bit to on our desktop. As you can see, the Supremium setup is now in on my desktop. Double click on it to open it up. Hit yes when prompted to, and as you can see, it says, do you want to install Supremium? Hit yes on your host machine, your VirtualBox machine. As you can see on your left side, it's going to ask me to select the program files for Supremium. Choose Create Shortcuts for Supremium, and click OK on the bottom to proceed with the installation. Once it's finished, you should see the Supremium setup has finally completed successfully. You should see the Supremium setup on my desktop. Double click on it to open up the browser. And it's going to ask me to sign in to Supremium. So once it says sign to Supremium, click Don't Sign In. And if you want to set as your default browser, click Set as Default on your thing right here. and it should be a good looking browser open. As you can see, I was able to load up Microsoft.com just fine. You should also load up YouTube videos, and that's what I'll actually play as well. And that's pretty much it to installing Windows 7 in a VirtualBox machine. Now, I have a few things to cover before we go to the speed test. So, anyways, before we go to the speed test, a quick disclaimer. Windows 7 is not receiving any security updates. So it's vulnerable to security risks. So please don't sign into important accounts like your email or Google account. You should be just fine. So, like I said, please don't sign into important Google accounts like your email or Google account, or either separate these things. You should be fine about that. So please use this at your own risk. And please don't sign in to important accounts like your email or Google account. Please do not ever try to do this ever at all. Anyways, we're done with our tutorial of installing Windows 7. Now we will show you we can take some pictures. Select View, then hit full screen mode, hit Switch. Now as you can see, it's on my desktop. However, I found that the process of installing this can be a little bit trickier, but however, if I just say that before. Because as you can see, doing the shortcut does not install the program. So anyway, we're not going to uninstall Suburbium. However, if you go here on your desktop, as you can see, it's right here. On the bottom, we're going to click on View, then click on Take Screenshot. Then I'm going to save this to my camera folder for easy access. And I'm going to name this Windows 7 Desktop Background, which of course, Windows 7 and Windows 8, which also joins with Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 8, 8.1, and 11. Anyways, we're going to move on to our speed test. So we can now shut off our PC or our VirtualBox VM, and let's move on to the next ones. So let's power off our VM, and let's move on to the next one, which is called speed test. I'm going to remove that off. Please give me a few seconds, and then we can get started. Please give me a few seconds before we get started, and then we can begin. All right, let's get into the fun part. This is called speed test. So today we're going to be doing Windows 10 and Windows 11. So let's begin, shall we? As you can see, we're in our Avima Plus program. So we have all of every single one. So for this one, we're going to be doing Windows 10 22H2 English x64-bit. Clicking on the ISO image will automatically download it to your desktop. And as you can see, it will just say, it says kind of a little different, but that's before. Moving on to our Windows 11 versions. As you can see, we have all the lists. So It tells me everything. We have all the lists. We have Windows 11 21H2, Windows 11 22H2, and Windows 11 23H2. However, 23H2 might be a little bit trickier, but however, sometimes it will have a little bit of problems with downloading our VirtualBox machine and then transferring it to our VirtualBox VM. However, we want to do something a little bit different. If you download it with the 22H2 or 23H2, it will give you updates, but we don't want that. So, as promised, we're only going to be downloading the one from 2021, the original. Because in the description, as you can see, if I click on the button, because we're going to be focusing on the original ones with 22H2 before 21H2. So we're going to download the original one, which is right here, the Windows 11 2021 21H2. Click on that to download it. It will take about a few minutes, and then we can get started. Please give a few seconds, take a few seconds, and then we'll get to it. Now I'm going to show you a few of them. I'm going to load up once again VirtualBox, and then we'll show you how you can create them. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a Windows 11 VirtualBox machine. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to name this Windows 11 21H2 original. I'm going to name it 21H2 original. Hit other on your screen, click on the buttons right here, and click open. As you can see, we have every single one, but however, I'm going to name this right here. I'm going to say 2021. I'm going to click skip unattended installation on our machine here and click on hardware. Now, however, VirtualBox requires about 4 gigabytes, but however, if I click on PC settings, I type in PC health check, and you click on check now, you see this screen. However, it's not going to say anything. It requires 4 gigabytes of memory with 64 gigabytes or larger. However, we need memory for your hardware. We need 2 or more cores or 2 or more cores and processors. For me, I'm going to click 4 gigabytes for this example. You can allocate more on your memories because, as you can see, it tells you about how much the memory is, as you can see right there. Telling you about the system memory of how much RAM you would have. So you need to get 4 gigabytes of RAM or system memory of RAM. So I'm going to allocate more on the thing to make it 8 gigabytes. Now, Windows 11 requires about 50 gigabytes, but we recommend you just do that right here. I'm gonna leave this as 80 gigabytes, or just say 90 gigabytes, or just 100 gigabytes. I'm gonna say 100 gigabytes for this example. Or if you want to say, I can allocate more by doing it in 128 or 128 gigabytes, which is similar to my Android device. Now, as you can see, it says 128 gigabytes because it has so much of it. Before we do anything, click on settings. Make sure we are all settled in. Make sure if you want to enable 3D acceleration, you can just do that, and then allocate more if you wish to. Make sure we're in the best resolution, and press OK. Now for Windows 10, I'm going to type it in. Let's go ahead and begin our setup. Clicking Windows 10 22H2 allows us for activation. Click skip unattended installation and name it Windows 10 for this example. So right now, as you can see, it tells you everything on the left side, which it tells you about on the left, which it tells us about this point. Let's go to hardware. So as you can see, I can allocate more if you like, or I just say that. We have at least 50 gigabytes, but you can allocate more if you like. I'm going to do the same thing with Windows 11, so I'm going to name this 128 gigabytes. Now keep in mind that Windows 10 is optical drives for one of each. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started with Windows 10 by pressing start and click or the start button on the top of the screen. Your VM is going to load into a new window, and it's going to load us into the Windows 10 setup. However, it will have a little bit of issues here, so no need to worry. And on this one, we're just going to go ahead and get started with the Windows 11 setup here. As you can see, Windows 10 is already up and running. We're going to do the same thing to Windows 11. When pressing the key to boot from CD, just do so. And it's going to load into the Windows 11 installer. Now, as you can see, it's much different than Windows 10. However, it made a few changes when prompted. So as you can see, we have a little bit different languages. We have the same languages, well, this one on the right, which has the original one, which it features all the latest. So we're going to go ahead and begin installing one of each. Hit the next. Install that one. Same thing. install. On the right, as you can see, it's going to be the same thing. This will also do the same thing as well. Choose I don't have a product key on the screen. As you can see, they're much different. Take a look at this. So as you can see, it says 2022, while the other one says 2021. I'm going to pick Windows 11 Pro, while the other one will be Windows 10 Pro. Hit the next button on each of them. Next, accept the license terms and conditions. It looks like different because as you can see, it says I accept the license terms, while it says I accept the Microsoft software license terms. If an organization is licensing it, I am authorized to find the organization. Hit next, next, and on this, what type of installation do you want? Choose custom. As you can see, my disk space is 120 gigabytes. That's because I want to match it up to my Android device. Hit next on both of them. Now it's going to install one of each. As you can see, it tells you how many things we'll get, and I'll come back with you once it's done. Now please keep in mind that one of each, it's much different than Windows 11 and Windows 10. Because as you can see on the side, on the right on Windows 11, it's much different than the last time, except with a few. However, Windows 10 is a little bit slow than the last three. Sometimes it will not say anything, but we'll see how it turns out in the next place features. So Windows 11 will ask you to press any key from the boot from a CD. As you can see, it's going to install some security updates, and it's going to ask me to restart my VM. You can wait for the timer or wait for this to pass through. During the restart, you're going to see this screen right here. So as you can see, it did the same thing. Now on the side, as you can see, it's VirtualBox. It's going to restart. The left will say it will restart on the left side, it will just come on with VirtualBox only. And as you can see, it says pressing key to boot from C or DVD. Please don't press anything and let it pass. As you can see, on the right is VirtualBox. On the right side, which you can see it's getting ready for my Windows 11 virtual machine. As you can tell on the left side, the Windows 10 and Windows 11 are currently going to be a few of them, but however, it's much different than the last time, except with a few. You can see how much the look at the fonts. As you can see, the font looks different than Windows 10. 11 are much different than the last three, but however, it's much the same except with a different color. On the other hand, Windows 11 and Windows 10 have separate things, which features a logo on the screen, while the other one does not. On most cases, VirtualBox will have a logo when you boot up your virtual machine. Like for example, Oracle VirtualBox, or if you're in a VMware Workstation 17, it's going to ask you to do the same thing. It will only come up with the Windows 11 screen, with the Windows 11 logo. I already set it up with the 21H2 with the one on the right side, while the other ones will have the ones on the left. So I'm going to show you a few differences, and we're going to show you after this is onwards instead. Alright, let's take a look at the out-of-box experience music. Once you hear this, you're going to see the screen. So as you can see with the, let's start with this region. Is this right? As you can see, it says, is this the right country region? So as you can see, I live in the United States. Hit yes on Windows 10. We'll start with the one with Windows 10 on the left side before we start. Is this the right keyboard we have? If you're also correct, hit yes. When you're skipping this, on Windows 11, click yes. Now we have some important step to do. Hit yes on the right, and we'll skip that. Now it will check for any updates. It will just take about a few minutes or two, and then we can get through it. So I will go ahead and pause for a while. Hang there. Now I can tell on the left, Windows 10 did first, so Windows 11 might be a little bit of taking too long, but however, Windows 11 might be saying something. So let's take a look at the left side. As you can see, this is how we'd like to set up. I'm going to choose set up for personal use. We'll have you set it with your personal Microsoft account. Oh, that one on the right will be that one on Windows 11 will restart. It will restart my VirtualBox machine, and it's going to load us back into the VirtualBox logo, which you'll see at the moment. You'll see this in a few seconds. So as you can see, it's just a moment, and it's going to load back into this logo here. It kind of reminds me of Windows 10, but except with the VirtualBox logo. I know it kind of reminds me of Windows 10 and Windows 11. Kind of reminds me of these things. Let's wait for this to pass through. Now it's going to ask me for the name of my device. I'm going to name this Ivan 2021H2. Hit next. Now it will restart on the right. So it will just take about a few minutes, and then we can go ahead and take a few minutes here. So Windows 11 is going to restart. However, there might be a little reductions. So that one on the right we'll have a little bit of trouble. So yeah. But Windows 10 might be doing a little bit of good job here. So anyways, let's go ahead and take care of a little business here. I'm going to click on set up for personal use. We're going to compare that to Windows 11, and we're going to do a speed test between both of them. So you're going to see this in a few seconds on the right. However, it also supports the following applications. We have Microsoft Edge, Opera, Firefox, and of course, Google Chrome. It's the same thing except with a few. You can see the icons are much different, while this one will say that. Hit next. As you can see, it's going to ask me for my Microsoft account. But if you click sign in options, it's going to ask me for a few. As you can see, it doesn't say anything, but on the left, you can see it says offline account. But that will also work as well, because it didn't, but Windows 11 does not give me the option to select any things, because Microsoft doesn't allow me to create this process. So I'm gonna get stuck with this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up for both of them, for Windows 10 and Windows 11. That's what I'm just gonna look for. Now on the right, I'm going to enter these things. Now on here, I'm going to do the same thing with the other two. That's just as that. Now, let's put our things in right. 1, 2. Now, it's going to say, please wait. Let's see how long it takes. Nice. I can create a pin on this VirtualBox machine, which also allows me to set up a pin on both of these computers or both of these machines. Anyways, let's go ahead and begin our process, and then we're going to go ahead and begin with my thing right now. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and set up the pin for both of these, and then I'm going to go ahead and use my pin with the same thing as I did last time. So I'm going to go ahead and create the pin for Windows 10. While I do the ones in Windows 11, I'm going to enter the pins up here. Do the same thing. Hit OK, then OK. And on the right side, we're going to go ahead and click next on the right, and then make sure you accept them. Then let's do the same thing with the Windows 10 machine. Now, as you can see, we have a little few options. You can select with which any of these things we can watch. We can watch videos, browse the web, or connect on social media. Let's pick one of these things. Let's do the same thing. Click accept for both and hit accept. We'll do the same thing with Windows 11 on the right. We already have some access here. And as you can see, it's going to ask me for use my Android phone. We'll not do that. We're going to skip it. So I'm going to press no thanks. Oh, wait, what? You've wanted a free trial of the Microsoft family? We are not. No. Hit no thanks on the left side. As you can see, use Work Excel Firefox. We'll skip that. Let's see if there's anything else here on Windows 10. You're in luck. It's just going to ask me for the same thing. We are not. And no. Next. Next. Let's see what this also has to say. Oh, what's this? What Cortana gives? Okay, this one on the right is going to ask me for Windows updates, so we're going to wait until the Windows update is done. So as you can see, like Cortana helps you get things done. So to do this, Cortana needs access to some of your personal information. To let Cortana personalized experience of other solutions, Microsoft Collect Solution. What's this say? We're getting the latest version of Windows 11, easier to use. Hit next. What's this? Okay, we're done. All right, so hit hi. All right, so everything is all set in. Now it's gonna do a speed test. Let's see how long it takes. Let's see how long it will be. Let's see. Which one will it be? Windows 11 or Windows 10? This starts a few minutes late, so it will just take about a few minutes for a while between Windows 10 and Windows 11. So let's see what happens. Let's see which one would best would be. Let's see. Windows 10 or Windows 11? Please show me something with the results. Let's see what do I get. Windows 10 or Windows 11? Let's see what we get. So as you can see, it says this might take a few minutes. Don't turn off your PC. As you can see, please keep your PC on and plugged in. So it's just going to say everything. Leave everything to us. Let's see. Did we get a tie? Or did we, which one do we get? Which operating system? Let's see what we get. Oh, Windows 10 did it. Let's wait for Windows 11 because that one got finished first. There it is on the left side. It's completed. Let's wait for the one on the right side. Let's see. Which one do we get? Because as you can see, Windows 10 is already finished. Look at that. As you can see, they are right here. Neat. Now we're going to go ahead and click continue because we're going to continue our process. Click that and confirm start browsing. Hit next, then hit finish. Nice. That's kind of neat. Next, we're going to have to install VirtualBox Guest Editions. This will allow to add some drivers, enable full screen mode, enhance performance, and to provide additional functionality. To get started, I'm going to click on Devices, then Insert Guest Editions, see the image on both of them. Now, as you can see, it's just going to say a few things to concern about this, because as you can see on the right, we have this screen right there. It says that I'm not signed in yet. So we're going to go ahead and do a favor here. Let's load up some drivers here. As you can see, it loads up with the CD drive. Click on this PC. Wait for it until you see the VirtualBox Guest Editions on the screen itself. Let's wait until we see it. Now, as you can see, both of these are different, so we're going to go ahead and begin installing them. Look at this. You can see how much gigabyte would it be. Look at that. Then we're going to go ahead and click VirtualBox Guest Editions on both. Let's see. What do we get here? Do we get something? Let's wait for this to show up. Oh, that one did. All right. Let's go ahead and click yes. And yes. So as you can see, I'm going to close that out. And on the left, we're going to go ahead and click next on here. Hit next again. Then install. VirtualBox Guest Editions will automatically install it to your VirtualBox machine. During the installation, you will hear these followings here. So I'm going to click on next. Same thing. Then install. Okay, so VirtualBox Guest Editions is fully finished. During this time, your VM might flicker during the installation. Once it's satisfied that, once you're done, finish. Then our VM is going to restart. During the restart, you'll see the differences between Windows 7 and Windows 8. Or I think it's Windows 10 and 11. Sorry. I think I made a mistake. Oh, that's good. Now we can go ahead and move it over and put up our cells. And on this one, and now we did. We finished our Windows 11. We're having a little problems here, so anyway, click on Devices, or not, View, then hit Full Screen Mode. If prompted, click Switch. Then your VM will be automatically full screen and transition your monitor. Same thing with Windows 10. It should fully recognize what we're saying. Now, here's the next thing I want to talk about. Now we've done our things. We did our resolution with Windows 10 and Windows 11. Let me show you a few differences. As you can see, we have all the lists here. We have OneDrive. We have OneDrive here installed here. As you can see, it says I'm not signed in. I'm going to click on the button on the right to sign into my thing. Click sign in, and then I'm going to sign in with my thing. I say that. As you can see, it's the same thing. Click on the button on your side and click on that button right there. Choose sign in, and then it's going to sign into my thing as well. Now let me show you a few things to cover today. If I click on start and click on both of these, look at this. We're going to do a few things to cover today. So as you can see, we have all these things right here. If you click on settings on both, take a look. As you can see, let me skip that for now. You can see on the right, as you can see, it says attention needed. Because you can see it says Windows activated. We click on the buttons. We click activation state. As you can see, it says Windows report that no product key was found on your device. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate both of these machines and then transfer it here to the VirtualBox VM. What I recommend is we need to use command prompt. Select the button, and I'm going to click on CMD. Same thing with Windows 11, and type in C, M, and D. Click this. Hit Run as Administrator. Take a look at that. See? It looks different than Windows 10. I'm going to click yes on both. Now, as you can see, it's going to allow me to do the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and begin putting all these product keys in the VirtualBox machine. First, what we're going to do is I'm going to activate the one on the right while I would do the ones on the left side. I'm going to go ahead and begin with Windows 11 on the right side, and you see what happens. Wait for it till you see this. So as you can see, it is installed. I'm going to do the same thing with CR. Can you see this, guys? Successfully. And what happens? You will see this message. Now keep in mind these are product keys because you don't actually type them out. You also have to do this with your full best resolution. There we go. Product activated successfully. Let's do the same thing with Windows 10. With the resolution with the resolution here with these things right there. Oh, can't see. It's nice.com. And there it is. It's installed successfully. Let's continue with Windows 10. There we go. Hit that. And then we should be good to go. Now we can go ahead and wait. Let's wait until did they work? Let's see if it works. Did one of these things work? Let's see what we get. Okay, they did. If I click on Start on both of these machines, click Settings, then click on both. Click on Personalization. On the bottom, click on Backgrounds. And there we go. We should be good to go. We're good. What else do we have here? Oh, colors. Kind of nice. As you can see, I can select default Windows modes. So I can select each color. We can select the background here, or on the right side we have all the themes. So as you can see, we have all the themes right here. We have our lock screen, our colors, our taskbar, and our things. So as you can see, we have our start buttons right there, which is nice, and we have these things right here. But what happens if I click on light? Watch what happens. See that? Take a look. Look at the colors. As you can see, the color looks different. But if I click on dark, watch this. See? The colors went dark. But on customs, as you can tell, look at that. Let me show you. The light looks different, as you can see. It's much identical to the one in Windows 11 on the right. But if you click on dark, it will just say that. Anyway, we're gonna leave it as the defaults. So yeah. Now let me show you real quick. You don't have to always to identify what you're thinking about this. So you can see on Windows 11 and Windows 10 are much identical to the one that earlier. So let me say this. If you've seen the point, you must say the point. So as you can see, they have pre-installed apps with including our Microsoft Edge. However, I think a little bit of things right here. So we click on that, click not sign in, click sign in on your things here. However, this will have a lot of issues. On Windows 11, on the right, you might see a few differences between the two. So if I click on the button, or just this, which on the right side, we can see all the list history. We have our screens here. If you click on File Explorer, we're going to have to eject them. Click on this one, right click, then eject it. Same thing with here, click on the button on the right, then hit eject. Now on the OneDrive accounts, as you can see, OneDrive looks different because you can see our folders are a little bit empty because Windows 11 and Windows 10 are a little bit of kind of ways. So let me show you real quick. As you can see, we have Windows 11 and Windows 10. So let me show you a few of them. They may not work, or may not work. So let me say I want to install. Those are supported with MP4 files, which of course it supports MP4s. Let me show you real quick before we get into installing it. We click on the button, click all apps. As you can see, we have some pre-built applications. You can see OneDrive is already installed, which is, of course, that's good. But however, sometimes it may not function right, so let's talk about it. So as you can see, we have all these things installed. So as you can see, click on all apps. You can see how much it looks like. You click on the buttons on the side, which also has Windows Easier Access, which features all the list rows. On the left, we have all the lists. We have Windows System, but however, it says this PC instead of saying this. PowerShell, Easier Access, and Administrative Tools. We also have Windows Accessories as well, which features Internet Explorer, which is kind of a bit outdated. The future of Internet Explorer is Microsoft Edge. Look at this. You can see it says instead of Internet Explorer 11, you see that it's not going to capability of loading the web page. You can see Internet Explorer 11 is now out of support. So the faster, more secure, Microsoft Edge. So that was too outdated. So they switched to Microsoft Edge for easy access. On one of each, on the other hand, which also complies with it. Unfortunately, it doesn't say anything with Windows accessories, but if I can type Windows Media Player, this is what it looks. Launch both, use recommended settings, then hit finish. As you can see, it says it will work properly, but this just properly say so. But on my screen, on my host machine, this will also actually does working properly fine. So we're going to go ahead and install some of the web browsers. I'm going to click confirm and continue on Windows 11. I go to a website. If I say supported browsers. So as you can see, we have all the lists for YouTube. So we can see we have all the lists. We have as you can see all the lists as you can see on the side. You can see to watch YouTube videos, you have the most up-to-date browser operating system and good internet connection. These are supported with Google Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and Opera. So I'm going to go ahead and install Opera on Windows 11, and let's see what happens. Click that one now on Opera. Let's see what happens here. Now, as you can see, it's installing. Click Open File on Opera. Hit Accept and Install here on Opera. Click Accept. Now, while I'm going to install Firefox on the other side of the screen. Typing Firefox will also load up as well. Click download on the screen. As you can see, it supports it as well. I'm going to click download Firefox. While I'm going to install Google Chrome as well on the side. It also supports it as well because, as you can tell, Windows 11 and Windows 11, Windows 10 and Windows 11 also supports it as well, which is not so nice, which is neat. So as you can see, it's downloading. So as you can see, it's currently downloading Opera, so it's going to install. On the other hand, we can see we have Google Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and Opera. And as you can tell, look at this. YouTube no longer supports Internet Explorer because Internet Explorer is no longer usable anymore. And as you can see, Opera is fully installed. And we can get started with Opera, which is kind of a bit nice. but Firefox also did as well. Let's click Get Started. We're going to use the system references. Let's do System, hit Next. This one, we have their style. Let's go ahead and click on that one right here, which is kind of a bit nice. We are not going to do that. What's next? WhatsApp and Messenger. We're not going to add one of each, so no. We're going to say later. Yes. Let's see. We'll skip that. There we go. We're in. Moving on to Firefox, which it also supports as well. Open that up. Press yes on Firefox. Now it's going to install it. While I do that, I'm going to install Google Chrome on the other side, which also supports Windows 11 and Windows 10. Unfortunately, Safari is only usable on Macs because Safari won't be able to say because it only supports on Mac because Safari only supports for these things. Because as you can see, look at that. Because as you can see, it only supports on Mac, iPad, Watch, HomePod, and software. As you can see, the software looks much different because it only supports these as well. Because if you click download on Safari, watch this. You can see it only supports one each. So we're not going to do that. And our last stop for today is Google Chrome. Let's go and open that up. Press yes on Firefox. We're not going to do that. Let's go ahead and skip this step. We are not. Let's skip that as well and start browsing. Okay, Firefox is installed as well, which is kind of a bit nice. Now as you can see, it's installing. Let's get out of here. So we did Opera, Firefox, and Google Chrome. However, let me show you real quick on Opera. So Opera supports Windows 10, Windows 11, and Windows 10. So we can see we have to use with most operating systems that will also support as well. I'm gonna go ahead and sign in with my originality with Ironman Plus's Gmail account. Enter the password for this account here. It's going to ask me for my two-step verification. I'm going to go and launch my phone, and it's going to say, are you trying to sign in with Windows? I'm going to press yes, it's me. Turn on the setting, press yes, I'm in. Then set as default. On settings, let's open that up. And on here, we have all the supports of web browsers. We have Firefox, Safari, Opera. We're going to choose our default web browser, which is, of course, Google. Anyways, we're done with that. We can just say everything's all settled in with Windows 11. So everything's all settled in with Windows 11 and Windows 10. Now we're going to show you Google Chrome and Firefox as well. So I'm going to go ahead and search up Firefox, then hit enter. Press the download button in the new tab. And we also support Opera as well. Opera, Google Chrome, and as well too. Let's go ahead and install each of them. First, we're going to go ahead and begin with Google Chrome. We're going to install it. As you can see, it says download Chrome. It supports for Windows 11 and Windows 10. Select that one, click download Chrome, and it will install it. While I do the ones with Firefox and this. To get into it, we need to use the web browser, which also complies with it. You can also pin our taskbar. We can also load it up by clicking on the right, then select Pin to Taskbar. On this drive right here, as you can see, we don't have the download yet because we haven't signed in yet. So we're going to go ahead and begin installing each. Let's start with Opera GX. Went to the left side with Opera. Hit Accept and Install on Opera GX. Then hit that, and it's going to start downloading. While it's ongoing, I'm going to install Firefox and Google Chrome, which also supports this PC, which also supports one of the followings on the left and on the right. So as you can see, Windows 11 also works as well, along with Windows 7, Windows 10, or some, yeah. Now moving on to Firefox. Let's install Firefox on this PC. Press yes. And while it's on that, I'm going to do that with the same thing with Google Chrome. Hit yes, and it's ready to begin. There it is, Opera GX. And we should do it well. And there we go. Opera GX is now installed. Kind of nice. There it is. Welcome to Opera GX. Now we should load up YouTube videos on this screen. Let's see if it works. There we go. YouTube works. We can put sign in on the Opera GX, which also works with your YouTube program. Okay, the download is complete and it's ready to install. Windows 11 and Windows 10 might be a little bit of a caution. However, Firefox and Google Chrome are installing and we should be just fine. Okay, Firefox is done. Let's wait for Google Chrome to finish and then we can begin setting up our VirtualBox machines. And then there we go. We're not going to set, we're skipping this. Skip the step. Then hit start browsing. We can close out of Firefox. Now we're going to move on to our last stop, our Google Chrome website. Hit sign in here, and we're going to do the same thing with Windows 11. Now let's enter the password. Whoops. Mine's a little bit different than Windows 10 and Windows 11, so I'm going to have to do the same thing with logging into both of these machines. Hit yes, I'm in on here, then bam, set as default. We're at a minute and 49, so let's click got it on the screen. Now let's go ahead and change that. And as you can see, we have all the lists. Let's choose Google Chrome and select switch. And there we go. We're all clear. Now we're going to go ahead and begin changing backgrounds. So I'm going to go ahead and begin with my drag and drop, and then from my host to guest, and then transfer it here. Click on the Pictures tab. As you can see, OneDrive is not yet, maybe because of that. We're going to put that in the Save Pictures folder, pressing this. Click this PC. Sorry about that. It's kind of too loud here, so Save Pictures. Let's go ahead and then put our pictures in the drive. But first, as you can see, it's already there. Sometimes the pictures of the qualities are a little bit of having a little bit of issue here, so let's go ahead and do that by removing Chroma S while I delete these things, because if you try to do that, it will say having a lot of problems here, because sometimes it may have some little concerns. Let's go ahead and bring Windows 7 and Windows 10 and Windows 11 to our VirtualBox machine. To do this, we recommend you use the files on the right. So let's go ahead and bring our Windows 10 machine by dragging our VirtualBox on here. But however, the only thing you have to do is use host to guest. Drag our Windows 10 right there to our saved pictures folder, and it should be there. There we go. Now we can select our background for Windows things. As you can see, it doesn't say anything because it's kind of the issues here, but you can sign into OneDrive if you wish. Now the accounts are much different, but as you can see, I can sign into the local account, or you can browse for a new one, which is kind of a bit nice to myself and honor. Let's go to personalization, click browse on Windows 10, select our picture, and pick this one. There we go. As you can see, the background looks different, and it's full and high quality, high definition for Windows 10. And as you can see, it looks like nice. Moving on to our next stop, which is our image one, which will also put that as well. We type in image, it's going to ask me for my image files. So I'm going to press type in image one in VirtualBox, and then transfer it here to the same location we did. Same thing we did earlier. Click on the button right here, drag it right there, and then drag our VirtualBox machine here, and then we should be that before. Click on Start on Windows 10, click on Settings, then on here, click on Personalization, then on this one, click on Lock Screen, select the one to picture. On here, click Browse, locate the picture we saved earlier, and then we did it. Let's do the same thing in Windows 11. As you can see, Windows 11 is much different than the last time. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to have to stretch our VirtualBox machine so we can fit it out. Press stretch, and then we should fit the VirtualBox machine, or fit that. So we're going to stretch that, and we should be fit. It should fit the machine. So there we go. We did that. As you can see, it says established since 2021, manufactured by Windows 10. Let's do the same thing with Windows 11. Host to guest. Let's move our folders here to the saved folders drive. Now on here, go back, then drag Windows 11 to the right. Now click on Start on Windows 11, click on Settings, then click on the button where you see this button right here. You click on Personalization on your left, then select Background. For full best resolution, select this button. Click Browse Photos on Windows 11, click on Save Pictures, and select the picture we just selected earlier. On here, click on Stretch, and we should fit our VirtualBox machine. Or select Fit, and it will fit our VirtualBox machine as well. Take a look at this. Or if you want, hit Stretch, and it should stretch our VirtualBox machine as well. Kind of nice. Now on the lock screen, let me show you. Click Lock Screen, select Picture, choose Browse Photo, click Save Pictures, and select Image 1. Now as you can see, the system looks nice. As you can see, it says established since 2021, manufactured by Windows 11, because it was manufactured with Windows PCs. Now if we go back, as you can see, it looks different, because as you can see, we have Windows 11 and Windows 10 all matched up together. Anyways, let's talk about our next thing we're going to say. So I'm going to talk about a few things to cover with. So as you can see, we are connected to the internet. We are connected to our cell. So I want to show you a few things to cover with music and the videos tab. As you can see, we have videos here because the videos tab is much than the last time, except for the few colors. So we're going to show you a few things to cover here today. Click on Start and click on the bottom and go to Movies and TV. As you can see, it's just going to say something like how this was earlier, but except with the personal one on the right. However, on my host machine, clicking movies and TV, it will say, it's just going to say it didn't let me load up anything because it doesn't let me load up the personalization personal on the right. It's because it's the one with movies and TV doesn't let me do anything. Anyway, along with these resolutions, we can also personalize our stuff with the personal resolutions with our VirtualBox machines. So I'm going to go ahead and put a video we will show you, which of course we can show you a few differences with the videos tab. However, it will be much different than the last three, except with a few colors. I'm going to go ahead and pick a video here. Let's get past through so we can show you. We can select a video from the list so we can see how everything goes well. We're not gonna have the Mike and the Phantom game music. It's because many people will not. Well, I don't feel like people because we were gonna give him like a few chances in the last two, but unfortunately, due to unfortunate circumstances, Mason McGinnis will not be able to comply with it at all. So hope you guys understand. To anyone who likes or new to this guy, being handled. As long as you handle mine. Let's go to music videos. There are a few music videos here, so we're going to go ahead and play one. So as you can see, we have the While You Watch Out. I'm going to go ahead and play the Deep and Why or This Is Today. Let's talk about this one. This is the official song. So, like we did earlier with Windows 10 and Windows 11, we did most of the things a little bit different, except with a few things. However, on Windows 7 and Windows XP, with the full resolution, we're going to do the same thing. We did an activation test, up-to-date web browser, drivers, with YouTube tests. So we're going to do a YouTube test, but for now, we're going to include this as the bonuses here. So in the last time we have a little bit of issues with loading our Windows 7. No, Windows 7 when the media player is not responding. But what will happen with Windows 10 and 11? Let's see what will happen. So I'm gonna put Deep and Wide in Windows 11 on the right side. However, it might be a little bit cautiously because you can tell the screens on the right will have a few things. If I click on Start and click on Windows Media Player, oh no, the Windows Media, what was that? What was it? Is it Media Player? Let's type in Media Player. You can see it says Media Player, but however, if you click on the Start button, click on Setting on the All Apps list, as you can see, it tells you everything. As you can see, it says Movies and TV. It always says Movies and TV here instead of saying that point. On Movies and TV, it looks like different because if you can see, with movies and TV, it tells you by the dates that was previously added. We can see here is the only video we did earlier. Moving on to our next stop, which of course we have is the Heavenly Sunshine. We already did that in the last time, but I'm not sure we're going to do the same thing with the last time. With This Old Man and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and God Made Me. Take a look at how much we got. We got 105 gigabytes in the last room. We're going to put our video of, let's see, we're going to pick one. We got the whole world in his hands. Which music video I'm going to pick? I'm going to pick this one. However, it's much than the last time, so it's going to be much different because Windows Media Player won't let me do anything. So we're going to do a YouTube test after this. So instead of saying Windows Media Player, it's going to be much different. When I open up these videos, it will play them separately. Anyways, let me show you here. You'll hear these differences.
mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. Angels bow before him, heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. Angels bow before him, heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. Angels bow before him, heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. And wide, there's a fountain flowing and wide. And wide, there's a fountain flowing and wide. And there's a fountain flowing and there's a fountain flowing and there's a flowing and there's a flowing there's a there's a
All right, we're going to move on to our next one. So, we did that earlier. We're going to show you a few things. So, with the next resultage, we're going to talk about something I'm going to talk about that's very different. Because we did Windows 7 and Windows Vista. We did this earlier in the last time with these things. Anyways, we did Windows Media, no, movies and TV. Next, we have an application test. But I want to talk about something I want to say. With the music folders and the, I can see how it says since this folder is empty, we have the music videos are much different. We have the YouTube tests, application tests. We have the, the YouTube and the application. We have, is the next row, we have YouTube, or no, application. We have the audios. That's much different than this. Are you ready to see? Let me show you. I'm going to move that on the left, on Adopt Me. It's different than the last. Oh no. No. We're not gonna copy these, dude. Come on. Son of a... You can see Groove Music is different, while Windows 11 is it's much the same as the one that's seen in these updates. Listen carefully. Okay, that was that. We're gonna move on to our next one. All right, we did Windows Media Player tests. Now we're gonna do a application next. So let's see what application we're going to do. Let's take a look. So why is there Cortana there? Let's see what this is. Oh, it's going to ask me to sign in Cortana, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in real quick. Okay, continue. Oh. And on the left side, it's going to say the same thing. Let's take a look at Cortana. It says beta for some reason. Let me see what happens. Accept. Oh. Press OK. Then boss. I wonder why was there Cortana on the screen on both of these machines? Because on both of the original and the ones on the right, because I think Windows, I think because this will automatically close its updates. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close that for now, and then I'll update it real quick. So we did the application tests. Okay, so Windows 11. See that? Cortana is the same one as Deseparate. Now on here, let's see what this is. This is Microsoft Store. See, pardon the eruption. So let's wait till it says you can see it's updating Microsoft Store. So it's currently updating it. This one already updated earlier in the last through. As you can see, it matches the pictures with the Copilot, with the other resolutions, the PowerPoint, and the other side rest through. So anyways, you can tell Cortana is right there on the right because maybe because of that. So yeah. So that was everything. That's just that. All right. You can see this one is the same thing. Take a look at this. It says getting ready. Good things are coming on your way. Coming your way. It's much the same thing like they did with Windows 10 22H2, but they kept the originality, except with a few. So that was that before, and that's just much different than the other resters. So I'm going to close them out because it's going to take too long on the installation. Because it might take too long when we install one of these things on the screen. Anyways, we're going to move on to our next stop. So our next stop, let's see if we can launch another application. Let's see if one of these can work. Let's see. Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Notepad. Let's see if Notepad works. Oh, Notepad's not there, so we're gonna have to select one. So Microsoft Edge did work. Mail did. So Opera. Let's see if OneDrive. Okay, that's fine, because one of these things is it tells you how much the quality of the VirtualBox machine. Look at this. You can see how much percentage. You can see how much. You can see it says active execution cap. Well, these ones are just as you can see. It tells you everything. All right, I have a few things to cover here because we're gonna the next one is gonna be on YouTube tests. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys vote. And while I'm going, I'm gonna play about 30 seconds. Listen carefully. And what do you think would it be? Opera, Firefox, or Chrome? Let me just find a video. Hold on a second. Here we go. About 30 seconds. So, anyways. I'm going to give you guys about 30 seconds. to wish to vote. Here are the lists we're going to select. Choose one of each operations, and we're going to see which one we'll get. Okay, please stop right there. Now, let's see. There's no votes, so we're going to have to say we're not going to do Opera today, nor Firefox. Instead, we're going to, here is today's thing, Google Chrome, which is also supported here on Windows 10 and 11. Oh, I forgot to mention this. There are some things right here. There are desktops, which is kind of a nice. Nice. And we also have some widgets. We can see we have some widgets here. This is also including the ones right here, which also has a few widgets here in the side. As you can see today in my things, which also complies with these things right there. For best high resolution, I can totally recommend you can use the following. So you can use light as an example, or you can leave it as a dark. As you can see, mine's looks like light. Okay, let's use Google. For some reason, it's saying this screen. We will have to exchange that by clicking set as default. However, it may not be saying this because it doesn't let me try to do anything, because Google Chrome is you might see it well, so we're going to click on that, click on switch anyway, then select Google, hit OK when prompted. Same thing with Microsoft Edge by clicking on the buttons on the side. Same with here, click Google, hit yes. With PDF files, use Chrome, hit OK. Then on the right, we're going to choose the same as before. Then on the rest will be Firefox. While the other will be on Google. Hit OK when prompted to. All of these things are much different. So we're going to go ahead and begin this process. I'm going to pick a channel. You can see all the channels are listed here. So as you can see right now, we have all the pictures here. So we're going to go ahead and choose a favorite. So it's 6 p.m. So we won't have to take any longer with the full resolution of Windows XP, or Windows 7, or Windows 10 and 11. So we won't take any much longer with it. So, oh, and by the way, the download one right here, press install. Same thing with here, hit install that, and it will load up like this. Let me just close that, and same thing. As you can see, YouTube is already installed here. So if I click on these buttons, let me show you a few things to cover with. So we can see all of these things are settled in. If I click on System, and let me show you the About. See, of all these things we have is the J9 OSO 38, which we can also we will rename that PC to say, let's say that i22H2. We'll say that. Hit next. Make sure we're going to restart later because we don't want to do that for now because we can't change the background. So we can't change that. So as you can see, it tells you everything about the IDs. We can see we installed 4 gigabytes of RAM, with these things. We can start it in 2025, and you can see how much the product ID and the device ID of the numbers on the site, and we have the specifications with the resolution. Now we have the product key and activation, which we already did so. For now, I'm going to restart it on the left, which we will restart with the ones on the right with the left first before we get started with the YouTube tutorial, or no, YouTube thing here, so we can go ahead and get it settled in with the Windows 10, which, as you can see right now, is it's currently running right now with the VirtualBox on the right. However, it must have been different, but except with a few, no worries, it will be just that. Anyways, let's go ahead and log in with these things I was provided with. As you can see, it says Services 2021 manufactured by Windows 10 because it was manufactured with Windows 10 because it was manufactured. Let me show you again. Full screen, switch, make sure we're in full screen mode, same thing, and there we go. We're good to go. Now we can go ahead and begin. Load up YouTube here on the side, and then we can get started with the There we go. Now let's take a look at both of these machines. So as you can see right now, if you do not know, there is one on the left side which features the SNN on the left, which it features Dylan Lovelace. Please don't bother myself because as you can see, the screen with it is the sound. Anyway, we're gonna play a music video. I'm gonna do Sing Along with Ally. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna load up Sing Along with Ally on both of them. Why would they include this on the bottom right there, saying Ally can be sing along to Be America? Oh, wait a minute, this is a different Ally, so this is a different Ally, not the Ally Jessup one. Alright, we're going to pick a song, but we can't use Wiggles or whatever show it is because many people, I don't want to get started with oh, I can see the buttons on the side. You can tell, you can hear that notification. That means you can see the screens on the right while the other one goes on the left. Because Windows 10 and 11 will play a notification depending on your screens. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and begin our boss singleton. So, to be honest, I cannot play the songs that features the coloring team because the people was already retired and will not be able to be heard as well. So anyways, we already played that one already, but we're going to play a different song today. We did that in the last time. Praise him, praise him. We're not playing that one. Only God can make a rainbow. Oh wait, that features Rainbow Paul. I think we already showed that already. Behold, behold. Why would they include the Wiggles on the side? Nope, we're not picking that one. Why would they include this thing? Oh wait a minute. Maybe because they included that Rainbow's Riddles house right there. I don't mind doing that. Just as I am is 2 minutes and 9 seconds, but we can't do that. We did. I put the joy bar. Oh no. We can't do that. I have Santa. No, we're not gonna include the Rainbow's Riddles stuff because we don't know what the air date for our last program. Hosanna and all for G. Wait a minute. Wait. What did I saw right there? In song number 71. What's this thing to? Oh, the Windows XP. Kind of reminds me of like a Windows XP thing. Wonder if you can remaster it in 4K if you like, which I will also put that up. Let me show you. The Windows XP Bliss 4K, which is also in Reddit, which we also right here, which is the 4K resolution of the Bliss wallpaper, which is kind of a nice, or the 4K Bliss wallpaper, or would it be better in 4K? It would be better in 4K if you remaster in 4K if you wish to. Anyway, so let's play. Nope, we're not. I'm not gonna play that because it's gonna make a reference to a Barney song. Oh, you seriously? Don't get me started with this, please. Because.
We'll get you started with it, sure.
Anyways, let's go ahead and play a song. Happy All the Time. Well, I play Hosanna. I'm gonna play Happy All the Time. Please know I'm not gonna chit chat over it because. Hold on a second. There's an advertisement. Let me just remove that because I don't want to get. Because I don't want to show it because I don't want to show that for a while. And sometimes if it happens to me. Okay, we're good. Let's do the same thing with Windows 11. And keep in mind that some of the videos that you see in each of the following videos might be not belong to me, so hope you guys understand. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started because I don't want to waste any time with it.
I'm in right out, right up, right down, right happy all the time. I'm in right out, right up, right down, right happy all the time. When Jesus Christ came in and cleansed my heart from sin, I'm in right out, right up, right down, right happy all the time. I'm in right out, right up, right down, right happy all the time. I'm in right out, right up, right down, right happy all the time. When Jesus Christ came in and cleansed my heart from sin, I'm in right out, right up, right down, right happy all the time. I'm in right out, right up, right down, right happy all the time. I'm in right out, right up, right down, right happy all the time. When Jesus Christ came in and cleansed my heart from sin, I'm in right out, right up, right down, right happy all the time. Hosanna, Hosanna, the little children sing. Hosanna, Hosanna, for Christ the Lord is King. Hosanna, Hosanna, the little children sing. Hosanna, Hosanna, for Christ the Lord is King. Hosanna, Hosanna, the little children sing. Hosanna, Hosanna, for Christ the Lord is King.
Now my storage is going to get low because the one with it because the thing right here, that scene right there, it's 706 because it's kind of a bit too low on it because we have to free up some storage. So we're gonna go ahead and begin with our next set of things before we go ahead and end our stream. So our next song is gonna be on. We're gonna do a remix and original songs and log on, log off, and log on test. I can't do the log on test because I can't do it because it will just waste my storage. So, anyways, we're gonna move on to our next stop. Next stop is gonna be something different. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose a song with the following lists. So as you can see, we're gonna play. We're gonna do unfortunately, we were originally gonna do the remix and original songs, the log on test, first log on test for users, but for these three, the first log on test, log on, log off, I can't do it because it will run a little waste of storage. So anyways, we're gonna do remix and original songs, and then we're gonna go ahead and do our speed test, and then that's it with our shutdown test. With my God, it's so great with our lyrics. However, we can't play each of them because one of the following songs will be copyrighted, but we don't want to show it because why do you mean by this? So, anyways, we were originally going to do that, but we can't do it because it's kind of at 6:12. So I'm going to do a few things to cover with. So with the remix and original songs, with separate songs, we were originally going to do every promise. Let's go and check on every promise. Every promise. Let's see what this is. Oh, from the breaking of your dawn. We are not gonna. I can't play with them. But however, it's coming from the breaking of your dawn. Every promise. I'm gonna check if this is copyrighted.
There's a problem.
Let me see if it's copyrighted on the remix.
Copyrighted.
From the breaking of your dawn,
Copyrighted.
every promise. Okay, I won't be able to do that because I don't. I think I will get copyrighted if I play one of each song. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna conclude this with our speed test, and then that will be it. So we're gonna go ahead and load up speedtest.net. I'm running out of storage here, so let's not waste any time. Sorry for the technical difficulties, peeps.
This says GTA 5 physics.
Anyways, here's the final result. Let's see what the results is on both Windows 11 and Windows 10. Okay, we're 55.15 and 35.75. Alright, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to shut it down now. This has been a blessing, and it's been a while, but it has been a wonderful blessing. That will conclude our today's speed test. So I'm going to end the stream here. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you guys did enjoy. And in case if you wish to join us, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that like button. And in that case, if you're interested, please should see me. And that will conclude our Windows 10 versus 11 speed tests. So I'm going to end the stream here, and I hope you guys did enjoy our show, and hope you guys did ensure everybody's okay. With that being said, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Farewell, folks.